Hello and welcome to my August 4th update for my GTNH playthrough. Just back from the weekend. As you can see, over the weekend I actually did a little bit of aesthetic updates to this area. If you don't remember, this area was basically filled in with land before, but I thought it would look a lot cooler to have the nuclear reactor plant, or nuke plant, surrounded by water, kind of like a little moat to isolate it a bit. Thought it looked kind of cool. It had been a while since I had done anything like focused on aesthetics, so it was a nice little change of pace while I was watching TV. Also, I think it looks cool on the map to have it like this. There's some more stuff I want to do along here because ultimately I want this to kind of look like a road and stuff like that, and especially now that I've got the draw distance turned up, there's a few things I want to get rid of or fix, like, knock down this dungeon house and stuff like that. That's kind of ugly, but, and, actually finish the towers. But for actual progress over the weekend, the main thing was I did get the uranium bees all bred up, so I got 7 of these guys going. I'm finally in a surplus of uranium. Where is it? Emerald dust. Everything's green. Here we go. Uranium. Yeah, actually quite a bit of a surplus now, so that's pretty cool. Which means it'll be good to sometime in the very near future, be able to start using uranium for my nuclear reactors, or for some of them to upgrade the main power. I did, in the single player world, I was playing around with different setups, which did lead me to realize I need more vacuum freezers and stuff like that dedicated to it. I did set up those patterns, but I haven't finished crafting everything because my main goal last week and first goal for IV, if you recall, was this wireless charger, which I did actually get crafted and set up. This is on the wrong floor. Here it is. Set up this Mark IV charger, and it works great. Everything's charged really fast. I think the only downside is that if we look at the quest book, I needed the Mark III to complete this quest. So this one's not a primary quest, so it's not like blocking anything, so not too big of a deal. I probably will craft one of these and just throw it down over here. I'm pretty sure though that Mark IV actually hits there, because it says it has like an 8,000 meter range, and I could be wrong, but I assume a meter represents 1 block. But obviously, if I was able to get that done, it means because of the surplus of uranium, so I was finally able to get some alloys like step alloy done, and with that I was able to finally craft the wrong floor again alloy blast smelter, so we can get some recipes in here. Used a dual interface. The only thing I have in here is this molten Inconel 625. I did have to use titanium pipes because when I first attempted to do this with potent pipes, this stuff here was actually too hot for the potent pipes. That was my first recipe. I'd come along in a while where it was too hot for the pipes and had to upgrade, so I just threw tongues in there. That should, I assume, be good for a very long time. I also finished setting up all these bending machines. So last week I was debating about how to set these up because things would randomly end up in the input bus from the output buses. I was originally going to do item filters, and then I left and went to cards and came back or slept on it, I should say, and came up with this idea. I actually originally had, where is it? No, I don't have one over here. I had one of the block ME interfaces sitting right here, and then I would import from that into each input bus, and then all the output buses are coming to this guy. And this has a import bus with 4 accelerators, so it gets into the system pretty fast. However, doing the block ME interface and then importing in, it actually was importing one item at a time, so even though it was in these new snazzy multi-blocks was actually going really slow. Then I thought about it as like, oh, what if I put in normal interface, and this just dumps all the items in at once, and it's substantially faster. And then on the bending machines that I actually use the most, like this guy here, I threw in the item upgrades to get everything out faster. I only have it on the foils and the plates at the moment. Eventually I'll add it to all of them, but honestly right now, don't really need that. And sadly my steel is not where I want it to be. That'll be addressed eventually. Once we get IV power up and stable, we'll finally be able to move over to industrial apiaries instead of these guys, and then we can use upgrades and what have you, so I don't have to spam them 7 apiaries to get things producing faster, so that'll be cool. But that's in the near future, but not the immediate future. I also moved the material press or forming press over here instead of attached to this guy, because what I was finding was, so I had an input bus with all 4 of these and then the other various recipes. The problem is that, like, say the diamond chipset needs a diamond plate, and if that comes in, which with whatever one of these is in here, it'll just make the processor instead. So I was running into problems, so I had to do it this way. And then same thing, I originally had it set up with a block interface importing, and then once I realized how slow everything was going, moved over to doing the imports like this. And then I just have it on the same network for outputs to, and actually this guy on the same network as well. The only reason this one's a block one is just specifically because we need liquids imported as well, so I didn't have a choice. And then if I ever need this to be importing faster, I'll just add the upgrades here, but I only have one recipe on here, and it's basically just used, as far as I can tell, for the near future for multi-blocks, so shouldn't be a big deal. But this was the item that was keeping me from getting the wireless charger. So basically got this entire list of things knocked out, so it's satisfying. Once I knocked this out, I just basically went over to the aesthetic upgrades, and I didn't make any progress anywhere else. As for today, the only thing I really started to do was set up for the extruder multi-block. I got one in here crafted, and then I haven't actually held one of these yet. I don't know if I need it for a quest yet. I haven't looked, but my next multi-blocks I plan on doing are these extruders, followed by the lathe, and then once I have those set up, I'll figure out which of these I want to start knocking out next, which will probably be ore processing mixed with, I think I'll do ore processing next, and then after that jump to AE2 magic and ender tanks, because I'll want the ender chests and tanks for the ore processing, especially if I set up multiple miners. It'll just be convenient to have ender tanks instead of trying to constantly move super tanks around and compress chests around and stuff like that. I can just set up like a in, out, and all that jazz. So that's my immediate goals. This guy's all done, and we can just take it off the wall. Boom. Alright. But that's pretty much it for my update today. Hope everyone is having a good Monday and has a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.